We are all set to rock and roll on this Monday. And we know what Monday means with Two Sisters. I'm just doing my wires so they're a little bit tangled up, but it is Monday morning. It is the start of the work week. It might be closing in on the end of that school year for some of you. But anywho, we're going to chat about all things Monday Mindset. Good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, AKA Nani Boss, live from Vero Beach with Two
Sistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, Mindset Monday. And yeah, burpees don't like me either. So Mindset Monday, obviously coming off the weekend. Friday, as you all know, was our 250th. And I'm just still blown away by that lineup.
It was so incredible to have that much talent. From diverse backgrounds, diverse journeys. Some were miracles. And actually, I would have to say they kind of all were kind of miracles because everyone had a passion, a talent, and a mission and a vision that basically kind of took over where they were at, and they knew they just had to do it. And a lot of times with that, you have to have that particular type of mindset to believe in yourself. And I often talk to people and chat about, our different guests and our different clients and customers, how do you overcome so many obstacles enough to, when the odds are against you. And it's kind of like that whole journey, where sometimes people are very fortunate and things fall into place. Like, I love to hear a good millionaire winner on a scratch ticket where they came from nothing. I absolutely love that. What are the odds of that? Oh, they're pretty high, right? Well, how about the journeys that we have to have that we really need that strong mindset, because it's not quick. It's not fast. It's not instant. And sometimes we kind of derail off that journey, and many of our guests did. Derail or second guess, or how you second guess yourself. And a lot of times with the journey where we think is going to take forever, we have to celebrate and embrace that mindset. Look where we came from.
Absolutely. And what was fascinating to me is having them collectively together, but the connections that they made. That was mind-blowing, like Alex and Holly.
And it was happening live.
It was happening live. So if you haven't had a chance, it is a long one. Maybe go for a long walk, or maybe you're doing some housework, put it on your Bluetooth speaker, listen in. We would love to have your feedback.
Well, actually, now that you said that, I do have some feedback I want to give to you. I got to search now because we received quite a few messages about how awesome it was. And let me see. There we go. Here it is here. From one of our most dedicated listeners, Anne, who happens to be a neighbor down the street. I haven't really seen her in person too much. Kudos to her. Like, I see her walking twice a day, like I'm heading out to pickleball or whatever. And that is what she listens to our podcast. And she always said, oh, I wish you would do like a one every day or a long one, because that would really get through my walk. So she said the podcast was genius. All amazing guests. She says, was not listening to it when she was walking. She goes, I feel crummy. I've been very sick with a sinus and ear infection. So talk about cheer me upper. Kudos to you and Jan and your wonderful guest. Keep at it, girl. Those are, the people that here were impacting somebody who was not feeling well in their bed. She's got the, how do you know when you get the ear infection, that sinus infection, it almost feels like you have the flu, like your whole body just doesn't feel right. You maybe have a hard time hearing or whatever. But she thought, wow, I'm going to still do something for my mindset. I'm going to do something for my health and wellness. And maybe something positive that's kind of helped me ease this crummy feeling that I'm feeling. So thank you, Anne, for always being there and cheering us on. And one of our avid listeners And she's always sending me messages of a little tidbit that she gets from our podcast. And so we wish, both of us wish you well. We hope you're feeling better, and rest, take care of you. And that's part of the problem, I think, too, with women, when their mindset kind of gets derailed. And what happens with that is we're not always in tune to our own well-being, because we're doing for other people. It's hard to like slow down. It's hard to just take a pause. I know I'm like the worst patient in the world for that kind of thing. Well, for a lot of kind of things, I'm not a good patient overall, but to force myself to stay in bed, you got to really like have a hammer. I have to, in all honesty, I got to be really knocked out, meaning once in a blue moon. I don't suffer from them now anymore so much as migraines, because I'm on a great nutritional gut program. But when I do get them, they're a doozy. Like, they knock me out. I've got to be in a closed room. I've got to have complete quiet. I almost can't even move. So for a lot of women, especially, even for guys, but mostly women, I think, for them to like actually stay in bed and know that they got to take care of their wellness, because that's going to impact their mindset. So we're hoping that we did cheer her up a little bit, and we were so glad to get that message.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Ann. And yes, we certainly hope you're feeling better. And I'm going to take a moment to pause, because I am being rained on. So I need to close the skylight above me.
Yes, because I heard you guys were getting some rain coming in that way. Well, Monday Mindset, we often talk about how do you stay focused. And that is why at Two Sisters, we chose as really our format for our podcast that every single day would keep you on crack. Not on crack.
What? Did you just say that?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I get tongue-tied. That happens. That's the beauty of podcasts. You never know what shit that comes out of our mouths, either by mistake or if we stick our foot in our mouths. We are always authentically yes. So to keep you on track, so we have a different theme. And I really think it's paramount for anyone to have a kind of a schedule to help keep them on track, because we can't do it all. We cannot, even though we like to think we can do it all, we can't. We got to be reasonable with ourselves. We got to be kind to ourselves, but we also need tools and assistance to keep us on track. So that is why Two Sistas came up with our format that we have: Monday Mindset, Trend Tuesday, Wealth Wellness Wednesday, Trending Thursday, and Fantabulous Friday. So today, of course, is Monday Mindset, which is really the key piece to all the other things. You can't have all the other things unless you're focused, but not so much focused that you can't tend to every other thing. So you want to make sure that we keep you organized. So we always talk about Sunday. Sunday is really the first day of the week, although a lot of people think Monday is the first day of the week. Sundays are really first day of the week. That is the day that you set yourself up for success. So you have that great mindset. So you're not scrambling. So you're not like fuddling with papers and, where am I supposed to day today? Where's my sticky notepad? Blah, blah, blah. No, you set yourself up for success on that was a weird noise. You set yourself up for success. Oh yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Something weird is happening with the computer. That was really weird. But anywho, you set yourself up for success on Sunday. So take out your planner. Maybe you have a big wall calendar. Plan out your week. Maybe important appointments or a dedicated appointment, like a doctor's appointment, whatever. You want to specifically your whole month planned out. But your day-to-day, weekly routine changes. So sometimes you can't fill it out as it's going, because then you're doing like scratching it out or whiting it out, and then it becomes a big blob mess. So I always say use Sunday as a day of organization, a day to kind of map out your week so you know where you're going. So then when you wake up Monday, you truly can focus on your mindset. What is mindset? Maybe it's your motivation. Maybe it's motivational music. Maybe it's motivational reading. Maybe it's yoga, like sitting in the calm, maybe doing some stretching. And it really helps you ease up. Sometimes maybe you had a chaotic weekend, a very busy weekend. We were one of those that had a very busy weekend this past weekend. And it kicked off with obviously our 250th anniversary. And then it was just, we had things going on and we had a busy week. So a lot of times on Monday, you're kind of rejoicing, reflecting from a busy weekend. and you're thinking, oh, it's such a great weekend, and that mood is gonna carry you through the whole week. And then one thing wrenches on Monday morning and you just screwed it all up. So that's why I think Sunday is a key piece to set the tone for the week. What do you think, Jim?
Yes, Sunday, it really is, and it's all about perception too. My weekend, as my family know, was a bit chaotic. We had a leak, and it just went all over the place. And I, when you set out to do your day, and in my mind, I knew what I was going to do Saturday. I'm very, and I freely admit it, I'm very OCD about certain things. This is what we're due, what time we're going to do it. So this put a whole big wrench, not only in my day, but in Gary's day as well, because, he's the one that had to, run around, and we're, just trying to grasp, okay, how bad is this leak, that type of thing. But what I'm trying to get to is all about perception. I had to cancel 2 meetings. And as I was speaking with Lisa Marie, I said, I could hear I'm so sorry, I got to cancel. But and after I hung up and, got through the first few hours of what we were doing, I'm like, wait a minute. All right, this day is not going as I had planned. However, my perception, I'm like, I need to turn this around. And as soon as I did that, I was very, almost like a conductor at an orchestra. I'm like, okay, that I haven't used it in 10 years. That's going out like this. Nope, going here. And the beauty of it is I have been looking for this bag since I moved in. This bag contained a whole bunch of my jeans.
A whole bunch of what?
Jeans.
Oh, jeans. Okay.
Yes. Well, so when I initially moved in with Gary, which was 10 years ago, this September. So I found this this bag. I'm like, oh my God. Now I know that the jeans were not going to fit because my legs are very muscular now. But I was so thrilled that I found this bag of jeans, knowing that they had not been thrown away. So there was blessings in changing my perception. The other funny thing is, Gary had, he had this Star Wars cutout, C-3PO. So it's like this life, and I'm like, get rid of that. And he's like, no. So we
kept it.
No, well, we did keep it. I was for getting rid of it. He's like, no. So I'm like, okay, I got to give him that little thing. So the dog, of course, all the dogs were freaked out about all the chaotic crap going on Saturday. So I'm like, well, I'm going to put this in an area where it's safe. So I put it in the media room, and I put, this thing is pretty tall. And I put the fan up against it, just so a certain dog wouldn't like to pee on it. We have a dog that likes to pee on everything.
Oh, God. So
I came in from taking the dogs for a walk. Now we're walking out that way. They can't see it because it's up against the wall. But coming in, they're like 3 little boys. They run down the hallway through Poppy's bedroom, that step up, they jump up on that. And they're running so fast that they skid around the corner. It's funny. But the monster, for whatever reason, was trailing backward. And then, of course, he zoomed down the hallway, goes up jumps up that step, but he starts going straight, like toward the fan where C-3PO is. And he stopped dead in his tracks and started barking at the door. I mean, at C-3PO, it was hysterical. So perception, blessings, a lot of good laughs, and kind of changed my mindset for the rest of the day. I could have been, and the old Janice would have been, oh my God, but it really turned around. So mindset is not just about, I have to have a good mindset. It's about changing your perception of your reality and what's happening.
Right. And I think that in itself also gives you those good tools that you can do it, kind of gives you that reassurance that, hey, if I got a derailment or something's got to totally change the direction of how my day is going, I've just proven to myself I can do it. And before we get on to any further, I just want to say shout out to good morning to Sandy. She is live with us watching. Good morning. We hope you had a great weekend. And I know she enjoyed our 250th episode as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. But, setting yourself up for success, a lot of people say, well, you're spending so much time on that kind of thing. Not really when you think about it, because think about this. When you sit down, you open up your planner or you take your wall calendar down, it gives you time to reflect. Where do I have to be? Where do my children have to be? Where does my spouse, my partner have to be? Do we have any specific appointments? Those are the ones I always tell people, go in kind of chronological order. A lot of people have set weekly appointments. That could be your child's gymnastics, dance, school committee meeting. Hot topic right now. We're going to get to that later. Maybe not today, but later. A lot of school committees are really being bombarded by parents. Power to the parents. And, so you might have those automatic set appointments. Put those in first. Whatever those weekly, daily appointments are, put them up first. That's kind of like a no-brainer, right? I got, soccer on this day, this person's got this, whatever. Then, do I have any appointments that you've already made? Maybe they're on your calendar on your phone. Maybe it's a doctor's appointment. Maybe it's a chiropractor appointment. Maybe it's a psychiatrist appointment. None of us need that, right? Maybe it's, whatever it may be. Those are your appointments that maybe you've set ahead of time. So now put those for your weekly schedule. Make sure that those are in there. Then, what day do you do grocery shopping? I know it sounds bizarre. Like, why do you have to put in when you're going to grocery shop? Time management, guys. The more you have time management, the better it's going to be for you. So what day do you go grocery shopping in? Some people like to go early in the morning. Some people like to go, during lunch. Maybe your partner or your spouse is at home and you got little ones. They take a nap at a certain time and that's when you want to go. Put that in there. How about if you belong to a gym? What is your daily routine? That's another kind of daily routine. I would say on the whole, not always, but most people have kind of a schedule of when they go, a time they prefer to go. Put that in there. So now you've got all your normal appointments or your weekly appointments or your doctor's or special appointments in. Now, the next important thing is, besides the normal activities that your child does, maybe they have play dates. Go ahead and put those in there. Now you can really scan the entire week, and now you can set up your personal growth. Maybe it would be, I've got an hour here. This is the time that I know my children take a nap. This is the time that I'm going to get, maybe a project done, or, I've got errands to do, and, the spouse is home. This is the time I'm going to do my errands. Also, you need to schedule yourself for your mindset. This is the time that I'm going to relax, whether it's my time to just, and I'm not talking about exercising. Of course, that is also paramount, and, activity and whatever you're scheduling yourself. But what I'm talking about is specific mind care. So whether it's to read, a few chapters of your favorite book, maybe it's to read some poetry. Maybe you like to doodle. There's a lot of people that love doodling. It's just a relaxing. Maybe you like to color. I know one of our sisters that likes to color. Maybe that's a relaxing thing, color. Maybe it's a special project that you really like, that you enjoy, that even though it's a project, you enjoy it. And it just puts you in that zen, that good feeling, that good mode. I'm going to give you a perfect example of changing your mindset as well. And this is really simple. It happened yesterday. We went out to one of our favorite fish markets, and it's a restaurant and also a deli, not one of Jan's favorites. because she's not a big fish person. However,
yes, I did see that, and I'm not going to like it, and I'm not going to comment.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to talk about the food. What I'm going to talk about is the owner, young man, really, really nice. And they do a nice presentation, and they do like a brunchy type of sundae. So you get like a little mimosa or, whatever you want. And then you get your fish or, you can get burgers there too and chicken. It's not just fish. However, when the four of us, because we went with neighbors, he was so excited to see us, right? And all of a sudden they just, it's so good to have such good, loyal, friendly, happy customers. And so our neighbor said, well, what happened? He said, I just had some kind of cranky people. They weren't happy. No matter what we did didn't make us happy. And I'm like, this is not a fine dining restaurant. It's a beautiful, casual place right on the river. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm like, what could set somebody off at a place like it's so casual, such a fun atmosphere. So he brings over our meals, and so we just said, well, kind of elaborate what happened. And he said the woman that they were serving, because you go to a window, you order, and then they bring it out to you, was upset because she didn't have enough lemons. I'm like, what? She didn't have enough lemons. So he said, yeah, we have we keep a bucket over here because they've got like this bar. They don't use it as a bar, but it's a bar. And they, have extra stuff there, silverware. But they have, a bucket of this cover. They've got lemons. And he said, well, why didn't you say something? We'd be more than happy to get you more lemons if you like more lemons. And apparently she just went on and on and on. So he said to me, what would you do? And I said, well, it'd be a little bit different than what you did. I said, you obviously you're in business, you're customer service. I would have said, would you like a little sugar with some lemons? A lot of people like sugar with their lemons. Now, I'm not being facetious, I'm not being snarky. My point being, talking about lemons here. You're that upset about lemons. Lemons are sour, right? She had a sour personality. So let's mix it up with a little humor. Want a little sugar with those lemons? I'll get you some more lemons. That is what I would have said. And he was cracking because, I couldn't do that. And I said, you could do it. You'd be surprised. The point being, and as he's talking and we're getting him to like give him all these different sayings that he possibly could say, which he probably can't say. And they were all like done in humor. It totally changed his perception of the situation. And he let it go because you could see it was like written all over his face. He felt bad. He felt like he didn't serve her well. And I said, you served her well. Sadly, you can't. There are some people that almost look for that argument. They look for the disappointment. They look for a mishap. And it's their personality. They're lemons. They're sour.
They thrive on controversy.
Yes, they do. They thrive. Exactly. They thrive on controversy. But what was cool to see is him sharing his experience with us. And we helped him through funnies, through humor, through some snarky comments that were really actually kind of funny and not really mean, but they had a kind of double meaning. You could just see his demeanor melt away into more happy, more relaxed. And he said, thank you so much. He said, you totally brighten my day. I was feeling, he really takes pride. He's the owner and he takes really pride on serving the public, not only with very good food, even though it's food you wouldn't particularly care for. He does have also things other than besides fish, but he really takes pride in his establishment. He takes pride in his service. And I think his feelings were kind of hurt because he wasn't really sure how to, no matter what he was doing, she was not happy. So we added some joy to his life and turned that direction of his day from feeling bad about thinking he did something wrong or that he couldn't resolve to joy. How cool is that? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I muted myself. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So funny to mute oneself. That is really nice because, as you said, it's about the perception that he was feeling that this person was giving out. No amount of lemons at that point would have been suffice it for her. But what I will say, obviously I wasn't there, but in a way I feel for that lady or whoever it was, I feel bad that she had to react that way. You know, was she having such a bad day that it was just the lemons that, you know, tweaked her into reacting that? And had she, whatever she was going through, had she changed her perception and said, why, yes, that would be great. Now, how much better that wouldn't have transpired, right? That would have made her feel better. Like, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to get at is being in that woman's shoes. I cannot fathom dishing that type of disservice to the person serving me. I guess, like, how do you walk away feeling good from that? You don't.
Right. And like you said, you never know what someone's journey is. You don't know. She could have been coming off of a bad day. So you have to, when you are, you own an establishment, you also have to think that way. I mean, the old fashioned, the customer's always right mentality. And at the same time, you wonder, you're not in her shoes. Maybe she just had a bad day. So that is why I love to, when someone is angry, when someone is rude, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball, when somebody walks into establishment or your life or you're encountering with them at the store. So that's why my mindset always says kill them with kindness. Even if it's a little kind of a snarky humor, just kill them with kindness. Because what are they going to do then when you're kind to them?
Exactly. Yeah. And kindness and humor goes a long way. And it makes me think of that time when I was in the grocery store and I was picking up some stuff for Daddy. And there's this woman that I come across quite often in the grocery store who is a large woman. She seems very nice. And I, like I said, I run into her here and there, but this one particular day, her cart was such that obviously nobody could get by. And I don't mind waiting for a moment. Oh, they're just bending down to pick something up, no big deal. But this was more than a few moments. And it wasn't only the cart that was in the way, it was a body part. Big butt was like there was no way to
a lot of people experience that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was no way to maneuver. Now I've got a line of people behind me, so the guy behind me is like, what the heck is going on? I said, I don't know. I've said a couple times, excuse me. So I say it again, but I say it louder. Excuse me, may we get by, please? And of course, by that time she kind of stood up and she got all huffy and mad. She like just immediately the venom was coming out. So I said to her, I'm like, I want to say something, but I want to be polite. I don't, want to be rude or anything. But I did say, to get my point across, would you have preferred if I said, get the F out of the way? Like, would that make you feel better? Well, the guy behind me and they were like cracking up. So I brought a little humor into that, but I was very calm on how I said that. And, every time that I run into her here and there, I ran into her at BJ's, she'll go, and she does it back, but in like a playful way, like she obviously knows who I am. So, perception,
Right. And in that case too, someone larger, has that kind of that weight on, and I don't mean the weight, physical weight, the weight on their shoulders, that they know that they are larger. Some get defensive or they don't really know how to, kind of maneuver that situation where it's not focused on their physical being. it makes them uncomfortable. So again, it goes back to, we don't know, someone's mindset. We don't know what, someone's particular journey is. Total switching this around though, and this is something I'm springing on my sister. I love when we spring things on each other. She's actually usually the one that spring things on me. I'll bring up subject matters to spring on her, but this is a little bit different. I was waking up this morning and I was thinking of so many positive people that I've seen throughout this year that changed their direction of where they were going, whether they decided to open up a business, whether they decided to take on a whole new career. And we want to hear from you. I would love to do a podcast featuring people that decided, and despite the odds of the cray times that we were living in for the last, 15 months, they still went for it. They believed in themselves. They had that right mindset, and they said, I'm going for it. So we are looking specifically for someone that decided to open up a business in the middle of this cray world in the last 15 months, decided to take on a whole new career, they figured it out maybe with their spouse or their partner that they could now work at home, like totally change what they were doing, but specifically that they took charge and going in a whole different direction. So whether you opened up a business, whether you are, decide to become an entrepreneur, totally change your career in the middle of the pandemic, and I don't even like to use that word because I have other words for it. It's more like a cray year. Please message us if you are a listener and you know someone that, oh my God, I cannot believe this person opened up a business. And I'm going to give you an example is my nail girl. You know how I love to show my nails off. The Bellamani Spa in Vero Beach. This young entrepreneur, young mom, I think she has 3 children, I believe it's 3, yes. Twins and then another little one. Was, like a lot of people that are in the service industry, whether it's hair, whether it's nails, rent out booths from other owners, right? So they're paying that rent and they still have their own business, but they're renters. She decided once it hit and that she was forced home, like a lot of small business owners did, and even big ones, she decided, no, I'm going to take charge. And a specific building had opened up. It was in a strip mall. Office space had opened up, and she said, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to just open up my own place. So I'm my own CEO. I'm paying rent, but I'm paying rent to myself, basically, paying rent to the person that owns the building, but it's my space. And she's already, she decorated it so cute. And now she's already starting to do, I think I'm going to do the floor over. Like I'm doing so well. I'm going to do the floor over. I got to change a wall around. And she did this all in the height of the cray last year. And she continues to build and build and build her own business. It's a good feeling story. It took a lot of positive mindset for her to believe in herself, because a lot of times put the last year behind you, because that's like that on steroids. It takes a lot to believe in yourself that you're going to recreate yourself, start over or start a job. And then you decide to do it. And during that great time, I think that would be an awesome podcast. So please reach out to Janice or myself. You can private message us. If you're a viewer and you know of somebody, get them in touch with us. We would love to feature. And I'd like to do maybe, depending on how many we get, we never know how many people are out there that have done it. I mean, I know a few, but we would like to feature them, and then maybe also lead it up to another kind of roundtable discussion we'll come up with a creative name of those that went for it during the 2020 cray year.
I think that's a great idea. And I specifically know of someone. So I am going to have to reach out to her today for sure. Wow, I think that's a really great idea. And when, as Carol just said, whenever we spring something on the other, like we do so when the creativity strikes And yes, sometimes like I'll say, I don't want to talk about this, and this. I don't say that anymore. So I just go with the flow. And I think that that is a wonderful idea.
Thank you. I think it's going to be awesome because one of the things that we take pride in on our podcast is sharing all of our knowledge in health, wellness, mindset, recipes, healthy exercise programs. But in addition, we'd love to showcase other entrepreneurs because it's our way of giving back of the blessings that we feel that we have received from our podcast, the many amazing people that we have met, the many connections that we have met. And we know we've got such big things planned for us, but guess what? We don't even know what half those big things are. We don't. We kind of go with the flow, but we also know that each episode, each day that we share positivity, as well as talk about those hot button topics, is going to bring us to something bigger and better in another direction of Two Sisters. And I absolutely love that.
Very, very good. And by the way, we have 2 spots for August, and now we're starting to book in September. So give us a holler.
Yeah, and I probably like to, I want to give people time to, and we would probably plan it maybe in between some of our other guest podcasts if we have to. We don't mind. We have that flexibility, right, to change things up. So we're going to probably give it about maybe a few weeks to get the fielders out there. So if you know of anyone, I know of 2 people already in mind that I'm going to reach out to. But, if you know somebody that, and I don't even, we don't even care whether it's a young entrepreneur. There's a lot of young entrepreneurs that, their McDonald's job or their Burger King job or their, part-time job, they couldn't get to, they weren't allowed to, or, that maybe that business shut down and they decided to do their own lawn business or errand business or whatever it may be. We have actually a lot of entrepreneurs that are very young, and those are the future generations of all the good stuff that living in the United States allows us to do, that freedom. So please, 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 if you know of somebody, don't hesitate. We are always open to interview anyone to see if it's a good fit. And I'm excited about that.
Yes, absolutely. And on that note, Mindset Monday, keep that perception going, keep that positivity going, and know that there is always an action or a reaction to an action, and we control how we feel. So hit that reset button. It's Monday Mindset. And my name is Janice, AKA Wellness Diva 5.0. And I am with Two
Sisters. And this is Carol Sue, AKA Naughty Boss, live from Vero Beach, signing off and getting going to get some pickleball on, get some movement and going. And then I'm going to do some laps today. Monday Mindset. No matter how you focus your mind, always, always keep in mind to be kind. You guys have a great day. We will see you tomorrow for Triumph Tuesday. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.